perspective needs to change
Mm-hmm.
first. I mean, we have to be able to step back and recognize that we're not always right.
Right.
We're not always, one of the hardest things to do is ask your children for forgiveness,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and to say, please forgive me because I overreacted, or please forgive me because that was rude. Please forgive me. And that in and of itself is such a great teacher, having the humility is something we want everybody else to have, but we don't necessarily want to have it ourselves.
That's right.
We want our kids to be humble and obedient, but we don't necessarily want to be humble and obedient. And I think the reason I start with that is hopefully not to discourage anybody, but to encourage you that change can happen. I mean, I've seen it. I mean, we don't have time to go through. I've seen what should have been impossible situations, impossible behaviors change. I mean, I've been in an orphanage in the middle of Ukraine in a terrible situation. And we changed the behavior of a 29-year-old who couldn't talk, who couldn't walk, who couldn't do. I mean, you can change behavior. That is the hopeful story. It can change. What I tell people always is, as long as you have breath in your lungs, there is hope.
That's right.
I mean, for whatever. And, and I think that is something that yes, there is always hope. And yes, as Christians, we were told, pick up your cross and follow me. And a cross is not the ornamental cute thing that people, that you hang, that's got a sweet saying on it. I mean, it's hard.
That's
And
right.
I think for parents, and especially, for Christian parents and for Catholic parents specifically, today is Our Lady of Fatima. I mean, there you go. What better parent do we have as a model than Mary? I mean, she saw some really hard things, and so that is something that that we can always ask her for her intercession. But I think for parents, what to do. This is the kind of the $1 million question.
And let me just hit the pause button real quick, because yeah, what you expressed there, I think, is a real key. The difference between guilt that can be paralyzing and conviction, which is the really the Christian idea that we recognize, we do that examination of conscience, but it prompts us with the help of God's grace toward those changes. And so that's kind of the fine line. We don't give in to guilt for its own sake, but understand that we are called to continue growing.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things of finding the balance, which is very difficult, of feeling sorry for your kid because you overreacted versus, having compassion. Those are two very different. Like, feeling sorry for somebody makes you not really want to do anything. Well, just bless his heart. Kind of the whole bless your heart mentality. I mean, if you're not from the South, maybe people don't, if they're never heard the bless the heart, but Kentucky's a bless your heart state, so they get it. But, it's kind of like, oh, well, bless his heart. Well, that doesn't really help anybody. So it is a call to action. And I'd say, for Catholic parents, if one of the things would be, have you confessed this? Have you been to confession and said, I overreact to my child, and I know this is not good? And, I mean, to me, that I have done that as a parent, and again, I'm a person who, this is my professional career, and yet I'm still a human. And I think you have to give yourself the grace of understanding that you're human and you're not going to do it perfectly every time. And at the same time, say, I can do it better.